I'm reading Marvel's Ghost Rider, and here's issue number 3. The issue starts off in a police station, where the young woman from the graveyard, known as Polly, is being protected/interrogated by police officers about the location of the canisters and the identity of Deathwatch. Just then, the power goes out, and Deathwatch appears and kills the entire police station and kidnaps Polly. Meanwhile at the hospital, Danny laments his sister's failing health, when suddenly the police captain barges in and tells Danny that Deathwatch attacked the other witnesses, so he's sending up a 24-hour protection unit for Barbara. Hearing about Deathwatch's attack at the police station, Danny runs off to try and stop them for good. Meanwhile at the graveyard, the children try to decide what to do with the canisters, and they debate on whether or not they should abandon Polly to Deathwatch. Just then, Deathwatch appears. We cut to Kingpin's tower, where Kingpin is growing impatient over his missing canisters, so he sends out an army to collect them as well as kidnap Polly so she can identify Deathwatch. We cut to the graveyard where Danny sees Deathwatch interrogating the kids, but he can't interfere as Ghost Rider or else the kids might get hurt in the crossfire. Despite these worries, Blackout kills one of the kids, which results in Danny's motorcycle awakening, allowing him to turn into Ghost Rider. So apparently Ghost Rider's role as a spirit of vengeance means Danny can't transform into Ghost Rider until innocent blood is spilt. So it kind of means that Danny has to be a little bit late to be a superhero? So there's going to have to be at least one casualty in order for Ghost Rider to show up, which is kind of backwards when you think about it. It is here where Deathwatch finally tells us what these friggin' canisters do. The 3 canisters contain a deadly virus, and when they're mixed together, it'll unleash a deadly plague that'll kill half the population and instill chaos among the survivors. Deathwatch wants this plague to happen because seeing people die gets him hard. That is literally the reason. Before Deathwatch can kill any more of the kids, he is surrounded by Kingpin's army, who demand they return the canisters and hand over Polly. Surprisingly, Deathwatch surrenders willingly, and he hands over the canisters, choosing to live another day, much to everyone's surprise, including Blackout's. Deathwatch kind of just vanishes for the rest of the issue, but Blackout refuses to hand over the canisters, and he goes on the offensive, and he takes away Polly from the group. While evading Kingpin's army, Polly remembers the location of the final canister, so Blackout finally has all of the canisters needed to unleash the deadly bioweapon. Before he can unleash it, Ghost Rider jumps in to fight, and the two scramble for the canisters, just as a mysterious figure takes away Polly. Blackout breaks away from Ghost Rider just long enough to crack open one of the canisters, but Ghost Rider stops him just before he can open the full thing. Ghost Rider tries to burn Blackout with his penance stare, but Blackout isn't affected by it, so he sinks his vampire fangs into Ghost Rider's flesh. So the penance stare is one of Ghost Rider's main superpowers, whereby staring directly into his eyes, the victim is supposed to feel the pain and the guilt of all the sins they've committed. However, the writing is kind of inconsistent, so sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. By sinking his vampire fangs into Ghost Rider's flesh, which were apparently prosthetic fangs and not real vampire ones, Blackout is exposed to the hellfire in Ghost Rider's body, and so he erupts into flames. The hellfire also spreads and sterilizes the bioweapon, making them harmless. Surprisingly, Blackout survives, albeit disfigured, and he makes a kind of clumsy getaway. I mean, come on Ghost Rider, he's right there. Yeah, if only Ghost Rider had some sort of rope or chain. He probably could have used that to stop a criminal from running away. We cut to the next morning, where Wilson Fisk contemplates what to do with Ghost Rider, and in the hospital, Danny Ketch considers abandoning Ghost Rider now that the business with the graveyard is over. But he's worried about leaving one of New York's protectors behind, so we'll see what happens next issue. For being Danny Ketch's first little mini arc as Ghost Rider, I actually quite liked it, although I think the ending could have been just a little bit better. I think the ending would have been more satisfying if we actually saw Blackout die, considering how important he was to this arc. Just having Blackout run away when Ghost Rider could have easily stopped him just made it feel a little bit weird. Also, I would have liked to see Ghost Rider use his chain whip more, because it was only in the first issue, and that's kind of his signature weapon, right? That's like watching Spider-Man fight crime without using web. Anyway, this has been me looking at the first 3 issues of Ghost Rider, so I look forward to seeing the next story arc, and let me know if you have any other ideas.